Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Townline Community Park. My name's Mary Van Arsdale. I'm the Director of Parks and Recreation for the city. I'm so glad all of you brought the good weather with you. We were long overdue for some of that, and I'm so glad we have such a nice day. We're going to start our event today with some comments from our new mayor, Jim Cowie.
Thank you and welcome. First of all, we have a gorgeous day. I know Mary's been planning this for months and months, and she couldn't have picked a more beautiful day than today. But she also gave me a little script to read, and I'm usually not good at doing this, but I do want to talk a little bit about history, because I think it's important for everyone to understand the history of this piece of property. This was a piece that the city looked at back in 1996 and started thinking about our visioning for the future on the west side. And it came up as the number one option for this piece of property was a park, open space and recreation. But we also had an opportunity here. One time the developer could have built about 700,000 square foot of office. And I know back to when I was on council with Alderman, and we had Mayor Kerr at the time, he went back and talked to the developer, and back in 2002, we had the referendum. The city passed a referendum for $6 million to buy this property. And look around, you have 37 acres of the most beautiful piece of property in the city right now. And I think the town did an excellent job of combining both what you see over here is the wetlands and open space with the parks and recreation, the ball fields, the soccer, the baseball, walking trails. It's one beautiful piece of property. And obviously a lot of people put a lot of time and effort into this. And I want to first of all welcome and thank some of our past mayors. I know I served under Howard Kerr. He worked on this diligently. Jack Preschlack, and I know our past former mayor here is Mike Rummel. Put an awful lot of time to make this happen. Of course, the Parks and Recreation is the one that really did all the hard work out here, though. They've been really working diligently for the last number of months, and if we all know, the weather has not really cooperated, so everything is not completely done. But as you can tell, they've worked very hard to get this to the point we're at today. And I want to thank Mary Van Arsdale and her staff, and certainly Bob Kiley, and the total commitment from all of the village, the city, to put this together and make it happen. And I also want to thank the Park and Recreation Board, Ralph Gazaldo, all of his work. Come on up, Ralph, and say a few words.
Wow, what a day. I mean, to think about it, yesterday and the day before it was pouring rain. It was soggy out in that field, and field number 2 had a puddle right in the middle of it. And yet, in Lake Forest spirit, we come out on the day of the opening, and it's absolutely a beautiful day, and it's been guaranteed by the mayor that it's going to be beautiful actually all day. I'm the chairman of the Park and Rec Board. I've been on the Park and Rec Board. This is my 6th year. And I'm a lifetime Lake Forest resident and Lake Forest lover. So I remember back in the day when all you had in Lake Forest was West Park and South Park. And now with our beachfront and all the parks we have in Lake Forest and the addition of Route 60 Park, I mean, it's just a great community to live in and especially raise your children in. This is a special day for Parks and Rec. Those of us who have served on the Parks and Rec Board, it's rare that in an older community like Lake Forest that you're able to come up with a brand new park, especially one on 37 acres. So Lake Forest truly is a special place. We are truly thankful that the community effort has resulted in this park. This is not something that was decided by Parks and Rec or previous mayors or any board. It was actually a visionary meetings that we had with a number of Lake Forest residents over a period of time that helped put this park together and helped put the elements of this park together. The features and benefits of the park. Since 1996, your park board has devoted many hours to planning this community park and the features it will offer to our recreation system. This new park allows us to expand the recreational activities in Lake Forest and the recreational activities that we offer, and it also gives us the opportunity to rest our neighborhood parks so that we're not overusing our neighborhood parks, to make sure that we continue long-term play on those fields as well. It's my pleasure to share with you the overview for this community treasure. The largest portion of the 37-acre park is devoted to turf fields for hosting a variety of sports, including soccer, lacrosse, and football. The fields are fully irrigated using a deep well water source. This environmentally green initiative is also echoed in the use of a bioswale featured in the 196 parking space lot. We have 2 gorgeous baseball diamonds that we're going to be using today. They're for youth sports, adult softball, and baseball games. The pavilion is situated in this wonderful location, providing a grand view of the entire parks. It offers a great gathering place for picnics, community events, and restroom facilities are located just behind us as well. There is 3/4-mile asphalt walking trail around the park. Along the way, you can enjoy several preserved wetlands, allowing you to connect with the natural beauty of the park. The park will be open from sunrise to sunset. I'd like to acknowledge a few board members that are here today. Ward 1, Scott Shape and Robert Taylor. Where are you at? I think I saw you over here somewhere. Thanks for coming out. Ward 2, David Deaver. He's also playing in the baseball game today, the Old Timers game. It's not David that's the old timer. Robin Ford and a new member of our board, Lauren Torelli. From the Ward 4 is Jeff Holmes. And our student board members, one of the things we've done the last few years is actually brought a student from Lake Forest High School over and made her a member as well. This year it's Olivia Napier is actually our student board member. I'd like to also recognize a few people that helped make this. Now, fortunately or unfortunately me, I happen to be the chairman on the day we're opening up the park, but there's been a lot of chairmans before me, Reno Paghetti, and also Steve Alley, who put a tremendous amount of time in developing this park. And it wouldn't be a dedication in the city of Lake Forest if we didn't recognize Fred Jackson. Fred Jackson, the former director of Park and Recs, the leader of Park and Recs Department for 42 years, and an advocate of the benefits of this additional park. Fred Jackson was an instrumental part of this park from the originally design days, and I think I saw Fred somewhere along the line over here, but there he is. Everyone knows Fred. Fred. As in any new development, you have to bring the homeowners involved, and I'd like to recognize a couple of the homeowner associations. We wish to acknowledge those neighbors and residents that helped make this possible. In Stonebridge, Don Utruska, is Don here today? There you go, Don, thank you for your help. Academy Woods, Leonard Scotty Woods. Is Leonard here today? All right, I didn't think he was coming. And from Conway Farms, Cardi Davis. Is Cardi here? Thank you. Thanks for coming out. On behalf of the Park and Rec Board, we'd like to thank you for your patience and support, especially those communities around us, to getting it to this point and going through the construction phase that we went through. As you know, weather plays a role in every construction phase, so we appreciate your patience for the surrounding residents. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to Mary Van Arsdale, but without saying just a few words about Mary. Now, when you have somebody that comes into town that's been around for 42 years, how would you like to replace somebody that's been in the same job for 42 years? So Mary Van Arsdale had that task, and she has done an outstanding job of finishing the things that were started by chairman before me and by Fred Jackson before her. Her visionary and the way she's come in with a fresh approach and the way she's looked at the project and helped us complete this project. I can tell you this, there's been times at 6, 7 o'clock at night, I've driven by the park and watched Mary walking through the fields wondering when this turf was going to be put down. So Mary has done an outstanding job. She's new to the job after 42 years. She's only been in it for a couple years now. She's like a rookie. But Mary, you've done an outstanding job, and I'd like to turn it back over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As he mentioned, this was a very challenging park in which to build, and it was challenging for a variety of reasons. First of all, we have wetlands in this location on 3 different sides of the park, and it's really important when you have wetlands to preserve them and not impact them in any fashion. So when we looked at this park and how we were going to design it, the drainage was really an issue in order to make sure that we got the drainage off the fields and also didn't hurt our wetland area. So that added some unique complexities to the park and how we could do that. So we did build the detention pond that's up in the northwest corner and then one that's straight on the east side of our boundary. And that's the 2 directions that we had to pitch our water and do the grading to. It became a lot more challenging park than initially expected to get ready to go. But having said that, we were really fortunate to work with a couple companies that helped us throughout this project and getting it all constructed. And so I'd like to acknowledge each one of them in their fashion. So I'm going to start with acknowledging the construction teams. But the other thing I wanted to mention is we kicked this park off in the fall of 2007 and then continued till now. And we had the 2 wettest falls and the 2 wettest springs and summers and 81 years of history in the Chicagoland area. So add that into the mix, and I really believe that the crews that you're going to meet in just a minute were just phenomenal for the work and the effort that they had to put in to keep us moving forward. And I don't think there was a day that most of us left the park out here where we weren't either snowed on, rained on, or frozen to death. I mean, it was just a really interesting challenge that way. So we mentioned these construction companies today, remember that they were out here every single day for almost the last 2 years helping us get this done. So very appreciative of everyone's effort that way. I'd like to start with JJR. If I could have Paul and Marissa come up. Yeah, you have to come up. You have to come up. JJR was our landscape architect, and Paul Wiese, who's joining us right now, Paul was actually a part of this project going back to '96 with some of the planning and visioning sessions. So he has been a long time contributor to this park, and Paul was just instrumental in helping me to understand what the intent of the park was and how we were going to work on the construction aspects of it. I had only been on the job 2 days when my phone call came in from Paul, and he said, "Hi, I'm Paul Wiese. We need to get to know each other. We need to meet very quickly." So, and we did, and the project started almost immediately. So Paul's been really on my speed dial for over 2 years. So, and with him is Marissa Dittman. Marissa has been out here at the park project with us, really the on-site person helping us coordinate with all the different companies, handling all the change orders and just construction documents and stuff. So really I want to just thank both of these 2 individuals and their company for having the vision that we needed to lead the construction team. So thank you very much to Paul and Marissa. Thank you for joining us. Next, I'd like to mention Wright Karima Architects. Is Stephen, Jonathan, or Chris here today? If you want to join us. If not, Wright Karima Architects, they actually helped us do a lot of the customization of this shelter. This was a pavilion project that we actually enhanced with a lot of natural materials. As you see, the stone and the fireplace, the bathrooms were really upgraded, and they helped us really try to make this pavilion look as fantastic as I think it turned out. And I'm hoping that people will enjoy this and rent it and come out with their families and have picnics here and really take advantage of this pavilion throughout the year. So thank you very much to those from Wright Karima. The next one is V3. Do we have anyone who is able to join us today from V3? Is Michael here? And Diana? No, maybe they're going to come a little bit later. But anyway, V3, they were our first general contractors out here on the project. They were responsible for the infrastructure of the park, helping us get the detention ponds, the site graded, the deep well in, the irrigation system, and establishment of the initial turf field. So they, again, were just tremendous, helping us really kick off the project and move us through really the first year of the project out here. So I want to thank V3 for all their efforts with that. And then Team Real. I know there's Team Real folks here because I saw you, and we've spent many days lately together. So everybody who's from Team Real, come on up. Tim, I know you're here, and Chris, and is Big John here? Okay. Big John's the dad. It's too bad John's not here because he's quite a character and could have added a lot of fun flavor to the event today. So this is Team Real. This is Tim Cederlund and Chris Stello. And these 2 gentlemen helped us with what was called Phase 1B of our project. They were instrumental in helping us get all the parking lots in, the trails, this pavilion, putting all the baseball diamonds in. They've been out here in the last few weeks just pushing to help us get to where we are today. Chris, I love seeing Chris here because I usually started my day with seeing Chris and ended my day seeing Chris. And he just went the extra mile on so many little touches that he didn't have to do, but he did because he cared about the project and really wanted to see it turn out nice. So, and Tim, you've been great too. He's got a lot of the big equipment, and coordinates all the subs for us. So thank you very much to Team Real. And if you can, give a big round of applause for our construction teams. Thanks. Now I'd like to move on and talk a little bit about some of the financial contributors we had. Building such a large park as this it's not easy. It's an expensive reality for us. And we had to really stretch a little bit to make sure we got everything in the park that we wanted to bring to our residents for their enjoyment. And the very first group that stepped up to the plate and said, we want to help, was the Friends Foundation. They are such a tremendous group of individuals, and I know many, many, many of them are here today attending the dedication, which shows their commitment to making the Parks and Rec system the best it can be. And they just put hours in on so many different things that bring donations and fundraising to support our efforts. And they stepped forward in the early part of this project when we realized that we didn't have really all the funds that we'd like to do to make this park the best. And they said, we want to help contribute and fundraise to do the pavilion. So if I could have Laura come up, Steve Hill, Mark, Mike Perlman, and Rick Amos. You guys want to step forward? These are our board members, executive board of the Friends. Laura Brown's our president. Steve Hill's our past president. Mark Milliman is our vice president and corporate chair. Mike Perlman is the treasurer, and Rick Amos is our secretary. And these gentlemen really have been terrific in helping us build this pavilion. They are continuing to fundraise for it. We have a little bit more to go, so we really, if you're a citizen in the community, you'd like to make a donation to the Friends, it will go towards helping us finish the needs of this particular pavilion. And we have many other things that the Park and Rec system does too. So if we could, a round of applause for the Friends for this terrific pavilion. But really, as I mentioned, the Friends, they do a lot of fundraising, and we couldn't pull off some of the things that the Friends need to contribute towards if they didn't have some key contributors. I'd like, if we could, to have Lynn Van Cleef come on up. Lynn is here today representing Lake Forest Bank and Trust. And is anybody here from Fields Auto Group? Dan, was he able to make it? So Lynn is with Lake Forest Bank and Trust, and I just want to point them out specifically, and we also included them on our dedication plaques because Lake Forest Bank and Trust is such a tremendous supporter of this community. They do amazing outreach for wonderful events and activities and facilities. And they have been the major contributor for the Lake Forest Festival and fireworks for the last 3 years with the Friends Foundation. And again, partnering with us again this year. And through those donations, which get funneled through the foundation, they are a significant contributor then to help us with this pavilion. So very much appreciative of Lake Forest Bank and Trust. And thank you for joining us today. Okay, just a few more things. I'd like to acknowledge also the wonderful partnership that exists with our sports organizations in the community. Lake Forest Baseball Association, Lake Forest Soccer Association, and AYSO in particular. All these groups are participating today in some of the activities we have that will be running throughout the day here in the park. And I'd like to acknowledge the fact that some of them have really helped us initially starting to put a couple things in the park that we needed to get it up and going this April. And I know that we're in discussion with the other groups to add some additional things as well. I'd like to mention that Lake Forest Soccer Association donated the goals that are in the park for all the soccer activities. And AYSO contributed the Thorgard lightning detection system, which is a safety feature that we have out here at the park to help clear the park whenever there's storms. So I'd like to really thank them for their donations on those items and thank them also for participating in today's activities. I'd also like to mention this park would not have been as have as many natural features as we do if it hadn't been for the fact that we received a $400,000 grant from the Illinois Department of Natural Resources. And so they have been a tremendous partner also for us. We're very fortunate to have that grant. Okay, and then that brings me probably to the very last area that I want to make sure I touch base on, and that is the staff. We have such a tremendous group of staff that help us get everything accomplished, and we worked very hard out here on so many different details of this park. I'd like to have Dan Reeves, if you would, and Wendy come on up. But also, as they're coming forward, and Dan, it might take Dan a while. He's got a broken leg. He might take him a little while to get up front here, but they're going to need to be up here in a second. But really, right now, if you will, I'd like everybody to give a big round of applause to our Parks crew. Actually, I was telling a few people that I was going to do this when I got up here, so I'm going to do this for the Parks crew. All the guys that are out there that are watching right now, this is for you. I really owe them. They put in over 20,000 plants out here at this park in the last 2 weeks. 20,000 plants. They power washed. They wiped down things. They put turfus by the ton in. I mean, it was amazing the amount of work and effort that they did to make this park come alive, especially with the wet weather that we've had in the last few weeks, because it was just kind of an ongoing cycle to keep up with the mud in the water. So guys who are here from the Parks crew, thank you so much. I can't tell you how much that meant to us. I also would like to thank the rec staff. Wendy's been working very hard with all of our recreation staff to put together the many activities that everybody can enjoy out here, working on some of the procedures and policies that we'll have, as well as helping us get the signage and some of those kind of things completed for today's event. So Dan and Wendy, thank you so much for leading your two teams for this park project. Much appreciated. And I did want to mention Joe Mobile, too. He's around here somewhere. There's right in the back. Joe actually took charge of the dedication planning. So thank you, Joe, for helping us plan today's day. If you've been in the rec center lately, we had a phenomenal photographer, Bill Beaterbos, take pictures of many of our park and recreation facilities, and they're just iconic pictures of Lake Forest. And we are now selling those prints. If you'd like to buy a print, you can buy it today or just take the order form with you. It is a fundraiser, and the proceeds will come back to help the Parks and Recreation Department. So please enjoy that.
While we're getting ready, I did forget to mention a few aldermen that are here today. I see Greg Hanrahan. Greg, raise your hand. Kent Novitt. And Ren Goltra. I saw Ren here earlier. So thank you for coming out. And Fred Jackson, I apologize that I did not mention you when I spoke earlier. I didn't see you over there, but certainly none of this would have happened without y'all, your dedication for 42 years. And thank you very much for that.
Come on up. Everybody take a place on the ribbon. Anywhere you'd like to stand. So on the count of 3, we're going to say ready, set, play at Townline. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Play at Townline. Woo! Thank you. Enjoy your day. Enjoy Townline Community Park.
It's a beautiful day for a ball game. Today, the fans are out to get a ticket or two from Walla, Washington to Kalamazoo.
My name is Ray Never Run Grish. I'm the umpire of the Chicago Salmon. I'd like to introduce Ellie Carlson, boss lady, owner of the Chicago Salmon. We follow the rules that were put down in 1858, the dawn of organized baseball. The sport that we know of baseball is based on the rules that we play of 1858. The rules are basically the same. The important ones are a ball caught on a fly or on a bounce is an out. Wherever the ball first hits the ground determines whether it's fair or foul. You can't overrun first base. And other than that, we don't allow any gambling, any swearing, or any profuse sweating.
Talking baseball, Klazuski, Campanella, talking baseball. The man and Bobby Fella, the Scooter, the Barber, and the Nuke. They knew 'em all from Boston to Dubuque, especially Willie, Mickey, and the Duke. Well, Casey was winning, Hank Aaron was beginning, one Robbie going out, one coming in. Kiner and Midget Goodell, the Thumper and Mel Parnell, and and Ike was the only one winning down in Washington. I'm talking baseball, Klazuski, Campanella, talking baseball.
Final score was 17-3, favor of Chicago Salmon. Zeus, a couple words?
Thank you once again for inviting us to this wonderful field here. I hope you enjoyed some of the different rules that used to be played for this game. We enjoyed the camaraderie of the new team that we're playing against, and hopefully we'll see each other again sometime soon. 3 cheers for Lake Forest. Hip hip! Huzzah! Hip hip! Huzzah! Hip hip! Huzzah! Once again, thank you for coming out. Appreciate your support. Hope you guys had fun. And yes, thank you very much to you as well, Chicago Salmon, for coming out and beating us thoroughly. Appreciate it. Kidding. In all fairness, thank you again for everybody coming out. 3 cheers for Chicago Salmon. Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Thank you all for coming out today. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
This is our 13th season. The team was formed from originally the Mount Prospect Little League Coaches Association, and there's 2 or 3 players that are still from Mount Prospect. There's one original player left, that's Zeus. We've added people over the years. We're from probably 10 different communities in the Chicago area. There's about 3 of us that actually live in the city. And we're the 2nd oldest vintage baseball team in the state of Illinois. I own the team. They belong to me. They have to do whatever I say, and mostly they do. And I think the most important thing that I would like everybody to think about the Salmon is that everyone who plays on the Salmon is a gentleman. We always exhibit very sportsmanlike behavior. If I have a player that exhibits unsportsmanlike behavior, I will drag him off the field by his ear. That usually only happens once. And I have been known to kick people off the team for not having a good attitude. When we go someplace, I want to walk away and have everybody say, boy, those are some of the nicest men that I've ever met, and they're very gentlemanly, and they play a very fair game, and that's what's important. That's what the game should be all about. We play also for the benefit of things like this, for park districts, historical societies, communities that want to have, you know, an ice cream social or something like that. They want to have a little bit of entertainment. And we're a barnstorming team. We do not have a home field. And so we do, our home games are usually for events like this here in Lake Forest, where we're providing the entertainment for a larger event.
Me and you and a dog named Blue, traveling and living off the land. Me and you and a dog named Blue, how I love being a free man. So happy together. No matter how they toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me. So happy together. I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my life. Me and you, and you and me. No matter how they toss the dice, it had to be. So she said, what's the problem, baby? What's the problem? I don't know. Well, maybe I'm in love. Think about it every time I think about it. Can't stop thinking about it. How much longer will it take to cure this? Just to cure it, 'cause I can't ignore it. If this love makes me wanna turn around and face me, but I don't know nothing about love. Come on, turn a little faster. Come on, the world will follow
You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. It's true. I saw your face in a crowded place, and I don't know what to do.
Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. See the paper laying on the sidewalk, a little music from the house next door. So I walk on up to the doorstep, through the screen and across the floor. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Sweet days of summer, the jasmine's in bloom. July is dressed up and playing her tune, and I come home from a hard day's work. See the smile waiting in the kitchen, food cooking on the plates for two.
There's no crying in baseball!